What's going on, everybody? Here we are. We're doing a little TFGO League mid-season review. I'm here with the legendary HeadlessGoose and one of the worst players in the league, HawkingRegime. You guys want to say hi?
What's up? What's up?
Legendary. Okay, sure.
Hawking, obviously not one of the worst users. He's won every Super Bowl we've had to this point. Um, But yeah, we're just gonna do a little review here, talk about the standings, some midseason awards, just to give a little recap for those that are um, wanting to catch up a little bit. We'll keep it a little shorter today. So we're gonna go through the standings to start, I believe, unless you guys wanted to say anything else.
No.
No, I'm good, but the Raiders Eagles version of this was good, so definitely check that out if you want some more in-depth information and commentary on the league.
Yeah, I'll have to post a link for that. We'll put this up on YouTube on the TFGO YouTube, so I'll put a description in there. Or a link in the description. Also, pardon my nasally ass voice. A little sick. Fever's gone though, so that's good. Yeah, so we're gonna start in the AFC North, and I don't know. How did you want to do this, Goose?
Well, I'm just going to talk about the AFC North real quick. Keep this nice and short. Bengals obviously are on top of the division, 4-4, with the Steelers or Browns not that far behind. The Ravens trailing behind, which back when we had the old Ravens series, it would have been a completely different story. But now things are a little bit different here. The Bengals aren't that bad. But
Yep.
this whole division's kind of kind of mediocre. Everybody's hovering around 500.
Yep.
So
The
not really much to
Browns.
say here.
Did we pick up a new user here
We did. We,
recently?
we got this curving Philly dude, and actually, I think this guy seems pretty good. Do you know? I don't know when exactly we lost the old Browns guy, but the last two games the Browns actually played, they beat two quality users in the Jets and the Patriots. So I mean, that's pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where I'm a little confused because I thought we kicked the old Browns around week 1 or 2. Um,
Really?
but we may have
Okay.
had
Do
Mm,
we
another
have
turnover and I
three?
can't remember.
There could
But
have
yeah,
been
so
three. There may have been three.
he's played close against pretty much
yeah.
everyone he's played, though. My guess is he
Yeah.
came in week 4 because he lost the Bengals by 3. Um,
Oh wow, actually, I play him 2 weeks from now. Okay.
all right.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's been playing close. So the Browns could make that thing interesting. I don't think there's any clear cut, runaways there.
Have we had the same Steelers guy there for this last season? He was there, right? The
Yep.
entirety
Yep.
of
That's AU
season one
runner.
here. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
AU runner's been around. I just didn't know if he was on the
Yep.
Steelers consistently, but I guess so.
Yeah.
He has. I think he had Roethlisberger, Bell, and Brown out with like injuries. I think something crazy was happening with his injuries.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay, so people were saying that actually there has been three because the second one had scheduling issues. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a tight race. I think all three of the Browns, Steelers, and Bengals are, pretty tight knit group of users.
Mhm.
Pretty good teams as well. All right, let's
It's
move
going
on.
to be
It's
hard
kind
to
of
predict.
basically the
Yeah.
AFC South of the NFC South of the AFC. Basically, we'll get there in a bit, but yeah,
Yeah.
go to the next division.
All right, so our next division here is the AFC South. I can take this one. We got the Colts here, who was lifted by Doug, correct? If I can remember that
Yeah, he
correctly.
was
It's 5-0, I
undefeated
think,
with
5 or 6-0, and then
yeah.
we've got this new user. He's lost 2 in a row, and then the Jags. He's really turned things around. Not a big surprise for me. I thought he was better than because he only won like 3 or 4
He is
games
pretty
last year,
good.
but he's better
Jags
than that.
user is pretty good. Yeah,
And then
he got a good team too.
Cole and the Titans, I think they picked up some losses early because of forced losses, but he's been showing
I
up
think
lately.
the wild card spot's going to be crazy this year for the AFC, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A
And
lot
then
of
we
teams
got
that are in that mix.
Phoenix down there in Houston, and a lot of people think he's tanking. I had a talk with him. I think he's trying to win.
That's good. He was completely the opposite last year. He was like 5-1 halfway through the year, and now he's 7-1.
Yeah, he was just a point away
Yeah,
from beating Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Definitely gonna be at least one wild card coming out of the AFC South, and I would guess
Seems like it.
Seems like the Colts are gonna have a drop off here, but we'll see. I think the Jags and the Titans are probably gonna be looking at playoff spots, and obviously just a game separating them right now. So it's gonna come down to those two.
I think Tennessee just barely lost to Jacksonville too. Let me check.
Okay. So Hawking, you can take maybe
My own
Goose,
division.
you take the East, and then we'll give Goose back to back.
I guess I'll just take my own division then. I guess here.
Well, I was gonna say I messed that up. Let Goose take this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you
like
can take
okay.
the next two. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Goose, you can take it.
So, well, nothing about this is remarkable. I mean, it's the same old story we've had. Just this time the Dolphins are not undefeated, but the Bills are. Bills and Dolphins, they are some of the top users of the league. Obviously, Hawking with his Bills, he can turn clay into gold with this team, and that's exactly what they've done. And Dolphins they keep on trucking. They lost to the Bills though, or will lose to the Bills in the forced win for them. But other than that, you have the Jets and Patriots lagging behind. That I'm still really surprised by the Patriots. Jam is a good user. I really just don't know what's going on with that team.
yeah,
To me, Jam is like he like reminds me of like the Jeff Fisher Rams. Like he can compete with like anybody on a particular day. Like when Seattle was in their heyday with 2013, 14, like they used to beat Seattle. And like Louis feels like he does that to just like to me and to the Dolphins, but he just can't win consistently.
Yeah.
And like it's weird, but he's always close. He's always close to people.
Yep. But obviously a little too far behind probably at this point. But
also, I'd like to point out the Dolphins actually did win the division last year, which I think might be like some type of shock to people. They actually did win. So
yeah.
Okay, so next division. Are we gonna any other points we need to make?
No, I think you're in control there.
You covered it. AFC West.
Yep.
Are we at AFC West now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll take the AFC West now. The Chiefs at 2-6, very good roster, but obviously the user is lacking a little bit there. I think Marcus and I discussed a little bit about preseason rankings a month or two back, maybe, and he thought Tomac was going to be the guy to kind of take this division. It's actually not turned out that way so far. The Raiders actually have emerged as the number one team right now, and the Chargers have been on a bit of a hot streak as of late. I think their last loss was actually to yours truly, the Buffalo Bills. On the road, and now he's cracked off 4 in a row. Actually traded for Sterling Shepard. That offense is really clicking. He's got, I believe, Justin Herbert, right, out of Oregon.
Yep, Herbert.
The rookie quarterback. Herbert.
Yeah,
Okay,
Herbert.
I always get that mixed up.
Probably because I had a
then,
typo in my draft class for about 6 weeks.
Okay. I had a D lineman in Seattle last year who was a rookie named Derek Hebert, so that also confused me. But yeah, the AFC West is kind of, it's kind of up for grabs, to be honest with you. I feel like Chargers and Raiders could really butt heads.
Yeah, the Raiders have been the surprise
Denver's
of the
not
year.
even bad.
Yeah, no, the Raiders have been a huge surprise. I played him a few weeks ago, and he was really tough. And then we know Z SOCOM with the Chargers is a good user. He just, was a little, I don't know, ambient the first year. Like he's still he's just not really all in, but
he's
we
kind of
know
on and off.
He can play. So it's almost like he's maybe the more, it's like maybe this is all the Madden he really plays, and the more he's playing, the more he's getting used to this game. It's kind of my feel for that. So I feel like the Chargers are going to be kind of coming on as AFC.
They got a lot of
threats.
talent.
Yeah, he made a couple Super Bowls with the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a good roster here too. So
yeah.
If you look at their schedule, their first 2 losses were forced losses.
Yeah, exactly. He was
So he's got 2 forced losses and a
only...
loss to Hawking. So he very well could be.
That's a
7-1.
good team.
Yeah, I think they're going to be my. They're gonna be my pick, but don't sleep on the Raiders. He can play.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna go to NFC North
my
now.
division. I'll give that to you, Hawking.
All right, on to the NFC North. Now we know the routine. It's a cakewalk year in, year out. Marcus has absolutely no competition in this division. I mean, it's just basically a give me a playoff spot and let me work with what I got in the postseason. But Mike tried early on. I think he was early on, wasn't he 3 or maybe even 4-0, right?
He was 3-0.
Hot. Exactly. I mean, just starting off hot and then just really just not gone his way as of late.
Yeah, he ended
and then
up
Detroit. I mean.
He picked up a forced loss against the Lions. The old Lions user.
Yeah, that set him off. Yeah, I remember that.
So we'll see. I think he can get in the mix for the wild card, but
it's tough. The NFC is just crazy and competitive in a lot of ways.
And this new Lions user, so he takes over an 0-5 team or an 0-6, or I guess a 1-5 team when he took over.
Yeah, A-Crush, I believe.
Yeah, so
and
he's
Vikings. I think he's just
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
What are we gonna say about Lions? What are we gonna say about Lions?
Well, I just think he's a little better than the competition we've had in Detroit for the most part. We've had like 12 Detroit users in the course of this.
Detroit feels like the goddamn quarterback position in Cleveland or something.
Yeah.
We just can't get a third guy to stay. I mean, it's just fluctuating nonstop. And then T.Y., hopefully, I mean, that guy, he was great in Madden 18 early on, and he just kind of just dropped off since then. So maybe he can get maybe if he gets used to the game. Sometimes it takes people some time to adapt. We saw that with Louis last year. I mean, I remember he was like 3-13, 4-12, like the first 2 years or whatever, something like that. And then he ended up finishing like 9-7, 8-8 in the last 2 seasons, things like that. So and it could change. We'll see. Good roster. So any other points you made on the NFC North? We know Packers 8-1. Actually, you're at a better point this year than you were last year, though, right? Because remember last year, I was looking at even Rodgers' numbers. I mean, they were kind of down a little bit, weren't they?
The team is playing much better this year.
It seems like you're way higher in terms of just winning games this year than you were a year ago.
Yeah, the running game has just totally changed the game. Aaron Jones is second in the NFL in rushing.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane.
Yep, and the defense.
But
Jair Alexander has been just locked down this year. He's been incredible.
Yeah, Oren Burks, 13 interceptions through 9 games?
Yeah, Oren Burks is currently listed as the MVP of the league.
He's getting close to suspension. That's what he's getting close to.
I'm gonna have to stop using him, but he leads the NFL in tackles, leads the NFL in interceptions. He got 6 sacks. He's having quite the season.
Green Bay's coming after people after having a nice free agency, picking up some players and pumping up that defense. So looking to be interesting in the NFC and the NFC North right there. But we'll move on to the NFC South. I guess, Goose, you want to take this?
Yeah. And then somebody other than me could talk about my own division coming up here. But for the South, well, mediocre is one word I would like to use, and no offense to these 4 people, I don't like making fun of people or anything like that, but, these records, one of these teams is going to make it to the playoffs because that's just how the NFL works. I guess it's got to be Saints, but, back when CV Dubs was with us in 18 with the 49ers, he was good. And then he left, and then he came back, and now with the Saints, he just is a completely different user. He's just not good in this game, which is shocking.
I mean, it could take some time. It could take him some time. I think he could probably turn it around and late in the year and make a little bit of a run. I mean, he'll definitely. I mean, it seems like he'll make the playoffs, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. I mean, he was sort of competitive.
I just looked at the
Rams,
standings. Right? That's so gross. I was looking through
team
stats,
what I mean?
And now I just saw this.
Yeah.
How does Jack Barr not have a win?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I give credit to Jack Barr. I mean, he works like every day of his life, but I mean, he just can't get Madden on
He's in
his
this division too.
Agenda.
He's in the worst division that he hasn't won a single game.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm not much better than he is, though, so I can't really laugh at him.
But wasn't Jack Bar like
No.
halfway? Like he actually was winning like games.
He's
I
like
feel
an 8-8. He's
an
been
18.
he's usually like
Yeah,
an
he was like
8-8,
8-8
6 to
though.
9 win team.
Yeah, that's confusing to me, but whatever. The Bucks aren't great, I guess, so that also doesn't help. But I mean, that is kind of embarrassing.
The
But
Saints points differential kind of tells the story here because he's I guess the
Scoring
Falcons are not that much different, but
What?
he's just
Oh, yeah,
scoring
he's
more
scoring
and
though.
yeah, playing closer games.
He'll get the hang of it. I think he'll come around a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, what he needs to do is start using Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas has 14 receptions.
Yeah.
I mean, if I played the Saints, I would just put 3 guys on Alvin Kamara and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Leading the league in receptions.
All right, I'll take the NFC East. Philly in control right now, 7-1. War Heroes at 4-4, having a bit of a better year than he did last year.
Dallas is such a weird team to me.
Yeah, he's dropped off from his. I think, without taking anything away from War Hero, he's good at offense, pretty good at defense. Like he's still a good user, I think, but he really, I think, benefited from the way the running mechanics worked with Zeke Elliott in last Madden.
Oh yeah, swerve.
And I think he's having an adjustment. Not because we spent a lot of time pointing to him with the swerve running. Love you, War Hero. But I think that's playing an impact. I think he's just adjusting to this game. But you're seeing that because he's better this year than he was last year, I think. And then you got Goose there, just hanging around. I'm more the same for Goose. And then the Giants have had a drop off at 3-5.
They were good last year, weren't they? Didn't they
Yeah.
even make the playoffs? They were like a 10-win team.
Mm-hmm. It's looking
Yeah,
like
so-
Philly's division to lose. I get to play him next week, and that could be for home field because the Rams
He
just
guaranteed a
picked
dub
up.
also in his in his
So the
podcast.
Rams just picked up their second loss of
Oh.
the year, and that was my only loss. So if I can beat the Eagles, I'll be in position to potentially get the number 1 seed. Not like it really matters, but first
I
round
mean,
bye
it
would
does
be nice.
matter, I think.
Yeah.
Matters to winners.
You know, I like my team on paper, but I've had a lot of injuries that my game against the Bears was really fluky. There was a bunch of weird. It was one of those weird games where Madden was interfering a little bit too much. Alex Smith ended up underthrowing a wide open Paul Richardson on a go route.
Yeah,
So-
it's wild.
There's
I guess
a
we're
lot
moving on to
of-
the
A lot of changes coming to Washington. I'm not happy right now with my record, but let's talk about the West. Talk about teams that are better than me.
bro. The NFC West has a winning record with all their teams. Holy
Yep.
crap! That's
That's amazing.
That's actually
See-
insane.
So you got Captain Halfback Toss and 7-2. We got
Bro, you're so salty over it.
we got the 49ers now in first place at 7-1.
Captain Halfback Toss.
We got the Seahawks in that number 1 defense, 5-2, and the Cardinals at 4-3. Just probably from top to bottom the best division.
I mean, these guys are insane.
Probably
Yeah.
again where the 2 wild cards are going to come from as well.
I was
Unless-
wondering, is it hypothetically possible that you can have 4 wild cards
No.
from this, like four teams win the playoff or get the play from one division? It's not possible. Okay.
Nope. There's only 2 wild card spots.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I
I'm
feel
saying
like
like
this-
can 4 teams from one division make the playoffs?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. 3
I
can,
feel like
though,
the
so maybe
Seahawks
they'll do
are
that again.
the Seahawks are for the forgotten team here. They're not a bad user.
Oh,
But
yeah, that
You
defense.
kind of
His schedule's
You
been
kinda
soft
have
early
two
though. I know.
powerhouses.
If you look at his schedule, he plays the Rams and then 49ers and Rams and then 49ers back to back to back to
Yeah,
back.
so we'll see.
So that's
Oh,
gonna be
Test
interesting.
for him.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Dang.
Those guys have a combined three losses. So I mean, good luck to Seahawks.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Well, at least he's got Bobby Wagner to contain
let's
those toss
talk
plays.
I think
So
Oren
we
Burks would be
wanna-
apt to stop those.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about awards here. Obviously, there's the ones in game, but we've got varying opinions. So let's just each go with. We're just gonna do NFC and AFC offensive and defensive players of the year and an MVP. So let's start in the AFC offensive player of the year. I'll let you guys start.
Goose, you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I'll go first. I think, Marcus Mariota, where did he come from? Like, when did he all of a sudden become really good? Like,
I
I've
mean,
never
Cole
paid much
was a good
attention to
passer
the
though. Like
AFC.
he was leading the league in like passing yards in some seasons in Madden 18, so it's not too big of a shock. But he's gotten back on track for sure.
Like, what happened to Josh Allen? He's kind of down there in yards, not passing as much as he used to.
Well, I mean, I played one last game also, so.
Yeah. 21 touchdowns, though. That's still quite a lot compared to most of these quarterbacks.
It was
But-
looking pretty good for Donta Foreman to be in the conversation here.
Yeah.
He just got suspended.
Suspension. Foreman's a monster.
Debo Samuel has come on. There's not a whole lot of position players that really stand out to you. I mean, Tyreek Hill, certainly. But even that, he's only on pace for 1,000 yards.
Everybody's kind of. Is Melvin Gordon maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
John Kelly is on pace for about 1,000 and 10 touchdowns. But
Kelly's potential. He got hurt though, so I don't know about that.
yeah, I feel like Mariota's the only one that's kind of having the impressive statistical season. He's on pace for over 4,000 yards.
He's having an insane,
Yeah, he's having a good year.
Insane
So,
year.
I'd probably
And
give it to
he's not
Mariota.
suspended, I don't think. So he
Nope.
should still be getting good.
So then
And
defensively,
Cole's not going to
40
be
sacks, though.
defensive player of the year on the AFC side.
Mhm.
Looks like Joey Bosa was leading the league in sacks right there. I believe. Check out the AFC.
Yeah, he
Ball
is.
sure
14
is
and a
that
half.
visual? I think these Colts players would drop off a little bit. Looks like Khalil Mack of Jacksonville. That's going to be interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, Jacksonville's pretty great. I could see him getting it.
Kevin Byard with 6 interceptions and 50 tackles at the free safety position is pretty good. Yeah, I'd probably give it to Bosa. It's
Bosa's
funny.
up there,
It's
yeah.
funny.
Chargers are
Everyone
playing
is
well.
like, "Oh my God, you're lowering pass block. The sack numbers are only going to go up." And I'm like, actually, all it's going to do is make it so other players get sacks instead of the 4 players that can actually win with our sliders. And it looks like that's holding up so far.
Mm.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like there's also not been too much of an increase in sacks given up, right? It's been pretty. Well, I guess we haven't like a comparison or anything. It seems like it's been pretty the same, right? Or has it gone up?
I haven't tracked it, so I don't know.
Okay, that'd be interesting
Well,
to
you
look
could-
at maybe.
I mean, you can look at the amount of times a quarterback has been sacked. Marcus Mariota was sacked 40 times, has been sacked 40 times this season.
Okay,
Quite a lot.
well,
That's
yeah,
a lot.
I guess it varies on the user as well.
Yeah. So how about on the
Yeah.
NFC side here?
NFC side for offensive player of the year? Are we talking? We're going MVPs at the end, I guess. Offensive player of the year for the NFC. I mean, it seemed like straight up Todd Gurley was like, up there. I mean, Carson Wentz looked pretty good. He had a 127 passer rating, I think, for Carson Wentz. Pretty absurd. I think he has 22 TDs, 7 INTs. Aaron Jones also has come on pretty quick. I think he actually averages potentially maybe even more yards than Gurley, but Gurley's been going freak. 12 TDs, I think almost 1,200 rushing yards, and he's through 9 games, so definitely
27
pretty close, I
broken
think, in that
tackles for
regard.
Todd Gurley. I think you got to give
that's
it to Todd
absurd.
Gurley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd give it to Gurley right now as well. I'd probably go him as offensive player of the year for the NFC.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
no
pick as well.
question.
Alvin Kamara is interesting. Leads the NFL interceptions.
Kamara can make a run.
Also
Rodgers had a
has-
good year
Yeah.
too.
Yep, Rodgers, Wentz, both having good years.
just feel like-
Defensive.
I feel like Todd Gurley has just the better overall stats, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
quite a few players you could choose for it, but I bet Todd Gurley's going to win it, or should.
So it looks like
Defensive
you get
is
the usual. Well, actually, you
Runaway
really
here.
don't have the usual with these guys. Runaway, Oren Burks. Well, I don't know about that because he's gonna have to drop off a little bit in terms of interceptions per game if he wants to sustain his eligibility. But he could still probably win it because I think he leads the league in tackles,
Still
right?
leads the league in
75.
tackles,
Wagner's
6
always
sacks.
and team record plays a huge role in like getting the Madden awards, so that's also a factor that plays into account here. So the Packers probably win a lot, given their cakewalk schedule. But Fred Warner 7-1, tough schedule, so probably won't be able to stay there. But I don't even know what are Warner's stats. I mean, does he have like really good numbers? Because he's actually number 2.
He has 9 interceptions, 4 sacks,
Oh shit!
and
Okay,
48 tackles.
Just 48 tackles.
that's pretty good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Interceptions
that's not a
number's
lot.
pretty big.
It's almost half the amount of tackles Burks has.
Do
but
we
a
want
lot
to look
for
at
the picks right there.
do we want to look at pass deflections in the NFC? That might tell a different story of players that are sometimes forgotten, draft picks and all that.
Monte Nicholson.
Monte
Because
Nicholson.
there's a certain guy who has 12 pass deflections.
Hey, Nicholson was a
good.
beast when he was the only guy that wanted to show up on your defense. So
Yeah, 54 sacks isn't bad for free safety.
Oh, Nicholson's got some
No.
insane numbers. Jeez.
Yeah.
His ratings are ridiculous.
Yeah,
My
he
God.
might be a player review candidate,
yeah.
but
Not sure how much you need to review with that guy, but okay, I guess we'll go on.
I know,
to,
right?
MV
I mean, Madden's probably going to award me with something, but my record's terrible, so that's why I'm saying it now. It's like Madden
do we
doesn't
wanna go
award teams
through-
with bad records.
We don't really need to go through like the rookies, right? I mean, that's kind of in depth.
We should do.
Like best.
We could do rookies.
You want to do
real quick.
rookies?
Yeah.
Positional. Okay, we'll just do. Okay, because there's positionals, but those kind of probably will take a while.
So
we'll stick with the rookies, I guess.
Offense.
Herbert and Karan Higdon out of Michigan. Damn.
I think it's Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel. He'll
Leads
probably
the
end
AFC
up getting a lot of numbers too.
Leads the AFC
with
in receptions.
With Cole's affinity for passing, I would not be surprised if he keeps on boosting his numbers.
Debo for AFC offensive, AFC defensive rookie. Let's see.
Looks like it's between Cameron Smith, Devin White, Trayvon Mullen, and Tavon Coney. So
Yeah, I don't really. That'll probably change. I feel like none of them are having
It'll-
monster seasons.
great years. Yeah.
And then NFC defense. I think. What's his name? in
Devin
Detroit?
Bush leads the rookies.
Yeah,
in
Ed
tackles.
Oliver has 12 sacks.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Interior,
absurd.
so that's gonna be him. And then offensive for NFC.
Oh wait, Kelly's not a rookie. He's AFC.
According to Madden, it should be David Montgomery.
Yeah, but David
Of the
Montgomery only
49ers,
has. Well, he has 8 touchdowns, 368 yards. So he's probably the front runner right now.
I thought there was
I
a
don't
rookie
think.
from the NFC, but I guess not.
I don't think any
My,
receivers are really standing
There's
out.
not really a lot
Tyree
of NFC
Cleveland.
offensive rookies.
Oh, Tyree Cleveland.
Tyree Cleveland
He's up there.
and
Oh, he's the guy?
Cowboys. David Still is the 5th. Both of those wide receivers looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
Marquise
All right.
Brown in the mix.
And then what about
Okay.
MVP?
MVP?
I'd probably
I mean,
give it
I'm
to
always
Carson
That's
with
a
Wentz.
tough one.
Yeah, Carson's having a good year. I would not be surprised if Carson wins it because I think, although I don't know what his schedule looks like because he also won the division last year, so it's probably not too easy. He still has you coming up, so I mean, I'd probably.
I
go
like
with
to look
Wentz.
at the touchdown to
I go
interception
with-
ratio.
Gurley's pretty ridiculous, honestly. I think
Yeah.
Gurley could win it.
I'm
But I
between
mean, if I were by Madden
Mariota,
standards,
Wentz, Rodgers, and Gurley. I think it's between those 4 down the stretch.
yeah. I disagree respectfully, but it is what it is.
Well, you think
Obviously, I'm
it's
going to do
Josh
it.
Allen?
100%.
Yeah, I think
The yardage
no,
too low.
I would Mariota to win it.
I think
Just
if
to
we were
shake
basing this
things
off
up.
of real life, there's no way Josh Allen would win, but because this is a video game, that Josh Allen will win.
All right.
Todd
What's Josh Allen
Gurley
up to
might,
these
but
days?
I
82.
want Marcus Mariota to win the MVP.
Yeah, I'd want Mariota to win. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Mariota is an animal, fast as hell. I think he has a ton of rushing yards too. They're doing well.
A good chunk of those 7 interceptions Carson Wentz has was against the Redskins.
It's impressive. Anything else we should move on to now? The positional, there's positional groups as well. I don't know. I mean, that'd probably take a bit. That's just kind of repetitive at that point, though.
I think we're good to
Coach of
wrap
the year.
this thing
Can we go
up.
over Coach of the year?
Who
Yeah.
Would be Coach of the year, anyways. I don't even know.
Raiders maybe. John Gruden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raiders probably would be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was fun. Glad we could keep it a little shorter. To
Goose can't
subscribe
stop talking about
to
his players.
the TFGO Twitch network. Make sure you're following everyone's games and such. Peace out. Thanks for everything. Love you. Bye.